Myers with me, Dave Despain.
Countdown to the start well inside the 30-second mark. Not to belabor the point, I think the big question has to be, can the veterans do anything with Damon Bradshaw? We're ready to go.
When that car turns sideways, that's the signal. The riders now looking at that gate. When it drops, they go. It's dropped. They're underway. Out of the middle of the pack, I can see Larry Ward, number 17, aboard the Suzuki. Ward has stolen the whole shot from the veterans.
Another kid. This is only his third professional season. He's a rookie in the class. He's got the biggest stars of Supercross behind him. Dubac moves up into second spot on number 7. And alongside the inside, in the green, is Johnny O'Mara.
And here comes Damon Bradshaw. He won the opening round. As you pointed out earlier, he's the talk of the Supercross circuit. And the moves he's making right now shows why. There's O'Mara now in fourth. There's Jeff Stanton running up into number 5 position. The pack sorting themselves out as lap number 1 is well underway. Larry Ward is your leader. Johnny O'Mara running second on the number 9 green Kawasaki. In third, let's correct that call I almost made. It was Dubac, but Bradshaw, going under that tunnel jump, took over the number 3 position. Now Bradshaw up high. Dubac tries to get it back, but Bradshaw has got the momentum in the drive. Bradshaw, number 8, settles into third. There's your leader, Larry Ward.
Bradshaw will set his sights on O'Mara now. Youthful exuberance. He just doesn't want to follow anybody on this racetrack. 17 years old, winner a week ago in Anaheim, working on the number 9 of O'Mara. He'll take the high line, trying to close in on what is now second spot.
Now, generally, Dave, when a rider gets off in the first 3, 4, even 5 positions, he's content to follow and study another rider's line before he tries to make the pass. That's not the case with these younger riders, Bradshaw, Ward. These guys are all over the racetrack. They're not waiting for anyone. They try to make that pass. They try to force the pass just as early in the ball game as they can.
Larry Ward out front. This is only his 3rd professional season. He is one of this incredible new crop of youngsters who have dominated this series thus far. Bradshaw, the guy everybody's looking at after that win in Anaheim, but Ward out front and pulling away a little from O'Mara. These kids are something.
Behind him in the number 2 spot, it's still O'Mara, but look at Bradshaw putting the pressure on. Now you get some kind of an idea of the gap between first and second. There's Ward, rider number 17 aboard that Suzuki, and here we come with the runner. Oh, look at that! That has been a double jump all night long. All night, a double jump. Bradshaw got some power. He found a triple out of it. He blew by O'Mara in the air. If your name is O'Mara, you had to look up and say, wow, what was that?
That's just pure courage right there. Guys with O'Mara's experience, and that includes not only racing experience, but crashing experience, won't make that move. The 17-year-old kid says, I could triple that thing. Grabbed a big handful, and he's second.
Again, we have to look at the fact that we're in the early laps on this main event. And I don't know if it was a good move or a bad move. You have to say that he came out in second, so I guess it was a good move, no matter how you look at it.
Well, results are what count, Larry, but the risk in the kind of racing that these kids are doing is the risk of injury, because it's so easy to fall off. The veterans know that. They're a little more conservative. O'Mara has had knee problems over the years. He's finally healthy again, but he's not willing to take that risk of getting hurt again. Bradshaw doesn't know hurt. He figures he's invincible. He knows he won a week ago. He wants to do it again, so he just blew by Johnny O.
Well, Bradshaw has 16 or 17 laps remaining in this main event. There's an awful long time, but he's not wasting any of it. He has his sights set on the rear wheel of Larry Ward. He wants to catch him as quickly as he can. And if I know Bradshaw, I guess make the pass as quickly as he can.
Well, Ward is very impressive because he's put a big gap on this kid. Bradshaw was the hero last week, and Ward wants to be this week. O'Mara undoubtedly frustrated as he sees perhaps visions of his career 10 years ago disappearing in front of him. He can remember what it was like to be the young hero, but it's been a long time ago.
Well, what Bradshaw is doing for O'Mara right now, showing him the short way around the racetrack, is he's telling him, look, you can ride just a little bit faster, and indeed, O'Mara has picked up his pace. Now, there's an old saying in racing, you don't know how fast you can go until you get beat or crash, one of the two. So until O'Mara sees how fast these kids are going, he's going to be, well, fiddling around at that same pace that he's been riding for the past couple of years.
For Larry Ward, this is an important season. He was dropped by Honda last year in a racing team cutback. Suzuki picked him up. He needed just one race to get the feel of the motorcycle. Here's Bradshaw coming after him. He's a longtime Yamaha campaigner. Ward's got to do well early in this campaign to justify Suzuki's confidence. And I'll tell you what, I think he's doing just fine.
And we'll be back with more action from the Houston Astrodome. To Spain, we're in the Houston Astrodome for the Coors Extra Gold Super Challenge. It's round 2 of the Camel Supercross Series. Larry Ward on the yellow motorcycle, rider number 17, is the leader. He took the whole shot, and he's not been headed, but right behind him, Damon Bradshaw.
44,000 people going nuts as the kids have at it. 19-year-old Larry Ward, 17-year-old Damon Bradshaw running away from the veterans the second week in a row. But those guys have struggled. Bradshaw inside. You going to get him, Larry?
He did get him. Look at that. No! Here comes Ward back. I thought that Bradshaw had the pass made, but Ward dialed it in, and look at this. Bradshaw found an inside line over the whoops, and he again makes the pass. This time he makes it stick.
Momentum the issue. Bradshaw looking back, kind of a na-na-na-na look, I think, there, as he definitely put the move on Ward. Ward is hanging on his rear wheel, but Bradshaw has, remember, come from 4th to lead the race. Ward led it all the way. Here's the battle that's raging now among number 7, Doug Dubach, number 1, Jeff Stanton, and this is the other Ward. This is Jeff Ward, number 3, no relation to Larry.
Okay, now that's the battle for the number 4 position. Johnny O'Mara is tucked up in 3rd. He's all alone right now. Dubach in 4th, Stanton 5th, Jeff Ward in 6th, back to the leaders, and Damon Bradshaw would like to pull away, but Larry Ward is not letting him go. Ward has the Yamaha still in his sights, and he says, hey, if you're going to run away with this one, you're taking me with you.
We saw it a week ago when we saw Bradshaw battling Motacevich. Motacevich didn't give up when Bradshaw came by, actually came back and retook the lead. They ended up swapping that lead back and forth. Larry Ward needs very much to stay close to Bradshaw to demonstrate to Bradshaw that he can ride as fast as he can.
In this battle for the number 4 position, Doug Dubach is doing the demonstrating. There goes Jeff Ward around the outside. Ward is trying to take over the number 5 spot from Stanton, and it looks to me like he made the pass. He's going to make it stick, and Jeff Ward has taken over the number 5 position. Stanton drops back to 6th. The defending champ has not made out all that well in the opening rounds of this Supercross series, and I wonder if you're Jeff Stanton, are you worried about it at this point?
He said he was going to ride conservatively, Larry. I don't think he was prepared for the demonstration of speed that we've seen from this kid, Damon Bradshaw, from his running mate up front, Larry Ward. I think, as you pointed out earlier, these kids have upped the ante in terms of what it takes to win at Supercross. You've just got to run a little bit faster than the Wards and the Johnsons have had to run in the past.
At the head of that jump section, Bradshaw looked over his shoulder at Ward as if to say, come on, I've got just a little bit left. And so does Jeff Ward. Ward powering to the outside of Doug Dubach. He's trying to take the measure of Dubach. That's where he passed Stanton just 1 lap ago. And Ward is going to make this one stick. He's got the inside line. Jeff Ward takes over the number 4 position. Here comes Dubach right back. Dubach says, no, thank you. I'll have none of that. Doug Dubach is exhibiting riding moves that I've never seen him make.
Well, he's definitely come to life in the face of a challenge from Jeff Ward, who's figured out that...
Oh, look at that! Doug Dubach had the line, and it looked like Jeff Ward jumped on top of him. We'll need to say this one again in a replay to see exactly what happened, but it looked like Ward come down on top of Dubach. Here's Damon Bradshaw, the leader. Of course, he doesn't have any idea what's happening behind him.
Ward commits to the double. Dubach has lost his momentum. Ward just crashes into it. Looked like his right shoulder carries him right up into the traffic. Ward actually falls off the motorcycle. They scramble to get going again.
Jeff Stanton, meanwhile, moved up to the number 4 position, and here's our leader, Damon Bradshaw. Bradshaw says whatever is happening behind me as he takes the cross flags indicating the halfway point in the race. Whatever is happening behind me, let it happen. I'm just going to keep her pegged, wired wide open, put as much distance between myself and this fellow, Larry Ward, running in the number 2 position as I possibly can.
Ward's got to maintain his concentration now. A week ago, once Bradshaw got away, Jeff Matasevich's arms pumped up, and he fell back to 3rd spot. In this case, Bradshaw is again making a runaway out of it. The new definition of what Supercross racing is all about. Look at the interval back to Larry Ward. Ward has got to maintain his concentration, or he runs the risk of falling into the clutches of Johnny O'Mara, who is still 3rd.
Speaking of Matasevich, there he is. He's in the number 5 position, following Jeff Stanton, the defending Supercross champ. We'll be right back. This is round 2 of the Camel Supercross Series. The young man you're watching, at number 8 in this motorcycle, it's a Yamaha, is Damon Bradshaw from Charlotte, North Carolina. When the gate dropped for the opening lap, Bradshaw was in the top 5 or 6, quickly moved to the number 1 spot. Now this is the battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th. On the green motorcycle, Jeff Matasevich in 4th, right behind him, the defending Supercross champ. Behind him, Mike LaRocco. Damon Bradshaw, of course, is missing all of that action, but somehow or other, I don't think that Bradshaw minds.
The first time you go out and win one of these things, it's a stunning upset. But when you do it 2 weeks in a row, everybody's got to rethink what this 1990 series is going to be all about. It's about this 17-year-old kid.
I'd have to agree with that. Here's the battle for the number 5 spot. It's the defending champ, Jeff Stanton from Sherwood, Michigan, aboard the number 1 Honda. Right behind him, Mike LaRocco from LaPorte, Indiana. Not too far away. In fact, they're almost neighbors, but not neighbors on this racetrack. And now look at this. Number 13, two-time Supercross champ Rick Johnson is about to be lapped by our leader, Damon Bradshaw. Rick Johnson is not riding well at all. There, Bradshaw makes the pass. Now, there's a rider that is riding well, Mike LaRocco. Again, LaRocco coming from way out of the pack to move up to the number 6 position and into position to challenge Jeff Stanton. Stanton, the defending champ, has got his hands full. LaRocco goes wide. Stanton cuts to the inside. LaRocco has the drive, but Stanton takes the line away. Now under the tunnel again, Mike LaRocco trying to find new running room, but Stanton, with his experience, takes the line away from LaRocco. LaRocco forced to fall back behind Stanton. It was a learning experience, though, and I would not expect that LaRocco was going to stay there. In fact, LaRocco is now making a move to the inside. He pulls even with Stanton. The two of them are hitting that rough section of whoops and double jumps side by side right in front of them. 4th place, Jeff Matasevich. We've got a real battle on our hands. 3 riders, you could throw a blanket over them.
Matasevich must be hearing footsteps. That battle still side by side as LaRocco tries to use the inside line to eventually gain the advantage. Stanton doing his best to hang on, finally gives up the spot. And let's take a moment to put this age and experience thing into perspective. We keep talking about Stanton as one of the series veterans. He is that, but he's only 21 years old. Point is, he has a lot of time on factory motorcycles as a member of one of the top teams. LaRocco, number 10, is 20 years old. Matasevich is 20 years old. Ricky Johnson, the gnarly old veteran that we've made so much of, is 25. So it's definitely a young man's ballgame, and these young men make a whole lot of money playing. Now we see LaRocco, number 10, closing in on Matasevich.
Matasevich holding down that number 4 position. Ahead of him, this man holding down the number 1 spot. Rider number 8, Damon Bradshaw. Behind Bradshaw, we caught just a glimpse of him. Larry Ward on the yellow Suzuki, and there was Ward. But Bradshaw is having things his own way right now. He owns this racetrack. The only battle on the track is for that number 4 position. It's between Jeff Matasevich on that green Kawasaki, and right behind him aboard the yellow Suzuki, Mike LaRocco.
Matasevich ran second to Bradshaw a week ago until his arms kind of tired, and he backed up to 3rd. Now he's definitely on the... Oh, he's in trouble.
He goes down. It looks like he just kind of misplayed that corner. He's throwing up his arms in disgust, like maybe it wasn't his fault. We need to take another look at that and find out exactly what happened.
Now, Matasevich is unhappy with the lap rider that he hit. It's a break for Bradshaw, who has one less contender to deal with here. Take another look at it. I think Matasevich thought he could get to that corner early enough to be able to knock that lapper out of the way. The lapper cut in on him and took his front wheel out. Matasevich found himself on his nose. He just misread it.
Well, LaRocco read it just right. He went way to the outside, missed the carnage, and you can bet if there's anyone on the racetrack right now that is pleased over the fact that Matasevich fell, it would have to be Mike LaRocco. Damon Bradshaw, our leader. It's been that way for a good number of laps. This one is winding down. We'll be right back. Here's your leader, Damon Bradshaw, running into number 2 position. Another teenager, Larry Ward, number 17 on the Suzuki. But the story has been all Damon Bradshaw. He's going to coast up that big jump now, takes the white flag, signifying 1 lap to go in this 20-lap main event from the Houston Astrodome. While we have the chance, we would like to say thank you to SRO Pace, the promoters of this event, and also the folks that are responsible for putting this telecast together. In addition, the fine help that we've had here at the stadium in the Houston Astrodome, the entire staff has been just excellent to us, and of course it's made our job a lot easier.
Let's tip the hat, too, to the American Motorcyclist Association. They sanction all these big races, but they do a lot more for the individual motorcyclists around the country, watching out for your right to ride. How about Damon Bradshaw? Waving to the crowd, headed for home. He's going to be one of the American Motorcyclist Association heroes of the future as he establishes in this 1990 Supercross season a new definition for riding excellence in the stadium.
The way Bradshaw rides reminds me of a paratrooper. I asked him, why would you jump out of a perfectly good airplane? Bradshaw lets go of the handlebars in the air. He did it one more time. A cross-up and a checkered flag, and he is happy. There's Larry Ward, his best Supercross finish ever. Running in a number